Hello, in this video we'll be taking a look at the Gladiator Arena Environment Kit that's free for the month of October 2023. It has a folder size of about 2.65 gigabytes and the normal price is $60. So make sure to grab it if you haven't already and if it's still October. This is the demonstration level. Let's go out and we can see this is the arena, the outer arena. There are no connected points, unfortunately, and it goes a bit deeper to the ground. No doors for the that's connecting the exterior and the interior of the building. This is some sort of a modular kit. However, because it's arranged in that way that it would make a circular arena, it's hard to increase the size because of the curvature. The diameter is some sort of already determined. Maybe you can scale it up to that would increase the diameter, but that would also scale the other stuff up as well. And in this corner, when you go up, you can see that there is an empty space. And it's not about some of the parts being offsetted, because when you change the wall, as can be seen there, you can see that it goes through the column, so that's definitely not the aim for it. Anyways, going into the overview level, you can see rubbles, falcons, statues, columns, and the details are very good even up close. The details do not break that much, at least. So yeah, these are modular kits, like I said before. We got some flags here. These are static meshes. There are also skeletal mesh flags included. Taking a look at the lightning only view mode and the collisions. The collisions seem to be goodish. It's sort of in this situation, like these arcs are good because the interior space do not have collision, so you can walk through it. And the decals, the lightning only view mode doesn't exclude the normals for them, but generally the collisions are good. They may not be the most performant, and the details are generally from the normal maps. And taking a look at the folder structure, in the blueprints we got the camera shakes, the maps, materials, meshes, and the skeletal mesh inside the meshes, the sequence, and the textures. Looking at the dimensions of the textures, we got 99 4K, 32K, 31K, 1512, and they do not have alpha channels. And the textures are base color, normal map, ORM, and some masks that are included. We'll go over it in the material section. Looking at the meshes, we can see the vertices. They're generally less than 10,000. About 32 have more than one material, and only one mesh have an extra UV channel. Some of them do have LODs. And as for the flags, the skeletal mesh one, looking at the cloth paint, I think the paint is a bit exaggerated. It should be a bit lower. You can see it's so jiggly there. As for materials, we got 8 master materials and the other ones are material instances, about 51 of them. This is for the flag. You can see that, I don't know if it's that visible, but it's like some clouds going through there. They do have some sort of customization that I'll be showing, let's see, yeah, now. Starting with this column, you can see that to material slot, the upper part or the ornament. And we can increase the emissive and the color of the emissive. You can just disable it. Flatten normal. The name should be obvious. Rotation in the UV space. Flat color, you can just apply tint to it. And you can add mask if there is a texture, or you can make the texture yourself, which has other channels. You can apply flat roughness or flat metal. Basically, applies one value to them, along with the tiling. And you can change the color, like in this case, because it's just a flat color. As for this column, which has 3 material slots, that with this one uses mask, and so you can change each part that are divided in the mask into the RGB. And the ornament is a separate material slot, the green ornament. Now this one does have mask, although only one channel is used. So I don't know, the mask for this one seems wasted. I don't know if it's used by other meshes. And part of the column, you can just change the flat color if you want. And the other meshes mainly use the same master material, so the parameters should be same. As for the UV, it's generally well packed. You can see only a few wasted space, and you can see symmetrical parts are being used the same UV space. And for the wooden parts, they do get repeated or use the same part, however in a lesser fashion to increase the variation. In this case, not so much for these stone tiles. And for the falcon, the symmetrical parts are not being reused or overlapped. So let's check the skeleton. Funnily enough, the previous or the other asset that's also free for the month have a skeleton that I showed, but this one does use the same UV space for symmetrical parts. Thankfully, it did have a little bit of wasted space there. I think it's been used by another mesh, that space, so that should be fine. Let's see. And yes, it seems to be used by the debris mesh. Overall, it's a great pack. The texture is great. There are material customization. It is modularish. It does have mask textures for the customization, at least for some of the meshes. The collisions are good, but they may not be the most performant. Some of the meshes do have LODs. The same parts or the symmetrical parts are being used on the same UV space. However, that may not apply for all of the meshes, and sometimes it may be overlooked, so to add variation. The UV packing is generally very good. However, some of the textures may be shared by more than a mesh. This can have its downsides. Arena itself does not have a fundamental or functional exit. And the empty space in the corners on the upper floor that I showed seems like an oversight by the author. That should be it. Hope you liked it and have a good day.